Thank you for joining me for this Imbolc meditation in celebration of earliest spring. I invite you to sit or lay comfortably in a space that feels right for you. You may want to prepare that space first, or at least to make certain that you're unlikely to be disturbed. And as we all know, Imbolc is the time in parts of the Northern Hemisphere where the first lambs are born. It's the first celebrated on the 1st of February. And it's the time of lambing, the earliest lambing. Depends, of course, how far north we are. So when I ask you to visualize certain things, please bear in mind that if you live further north, within the Northern Hemisphere, you're going to find that you're looking forwards to things that would happen a little bit later. And of course, if you live within the Southern Hemisphere, you would need to reverse the timings because the wheel of the year is effectively reversed for those who live in the Southern Hemisphere. So just take a few moments to make yourself comfortable, to become conscious of where you're sitting or laying and how comfortable you're going to become, to kind of be curious about the levels of comfort that you can generate in the sanctuary of your own mind as you rest there now, aware of your breath flowing in and out, in and out, in and out, aware of your abdomen rising or falling with each breath that you take, not forcing it, not trying to make it happen, but just following your breath, aware of how it is working, aware of the lowest point of your chest or abdomen, that you can be conscious of rising and falling with each comfortable breath that you take, aware that each breath that you take is part of the tide of life, the tide of life that not only embraces you, but holds Mother Earth in its embrace. And as the earth goes through its cycles, we know that we are entering the earliest springtime, and that the sap is beginning to rise in the trees. And when we think about trees that are applicable to this time of year, in England, particularly southwest England, my former homeland, then we would notice that the buds on the poplar trees, but also other trees, are beginning to show themselves. And they are so deliciously delicate and beautiful. And it was actually thoughts of those early buds that encouraged me to select the blouse that I am wearing from quite a few that I have in my wardrobe. And we all know that there are so many associations that bring to mind for each one of us the beauties that are present at this time. And as you're resting there, you're going to find that your mind takes you on a little journey where you bring to mind more and more of those associations that you associate with the time of Imbolc, the wonders of finding what we can do, what we can make with those last stored products of winter. We know in this day and age that we can go out usually and buy whatever we would like regardless of season. But it's nice to think of the seasons, and that is part of the time of Imbolc, giving recognition to the turning of the seasons, giving recognition to the fact that as the milk flows from the ewes to nourish the newborn lambs, that symbolically the milk flows from the breasts of the Great Mother to nourish the momentum into spring, the lighting of the fire. And the saint that we associate with this time, Saint Bridget or Saint Brigid, we know that that is linked to, she is linked to both the forces of water and fire. And we would say that these are corresponding forces that are opposites. And they are indeed opposite, but both are necessary. And with the liquidity of water, as opposed to the solidity of ice, we are moving into forward momentum once again, and the uprising of nature, that feeling that we all get when we walk in that time, when the sap is beginning to rise in the trees. And it is really invigorating, really special. And we know that although winter is still with us, spring is kind of concurrent, either beneath the surface, as it is in the far north, or indeed beginning to make its presence felt. And I'd like you to bring to mind any special memories that associate around the 1st of February for you, and to remember the nourishment that you can take from those memories, because those memories are indeed living things that have gifts to bestow today. The gift of beauty, the gift of sustenance, the gift of a time when you felt nourished. And I would like you now to imagine yourself walking in a forest. And as you walk through that forest, you're going to come to a clearing. You're going to come to a clearing where you can have a meeting with a sacred woman. And I am going to suggest that you ask to meet with the goddess Brigid, or whichever spring goddess is dear to your heart in this clearing. So you're walking, you're smelling the smells as the trees gather their power to unfurl their leaves once again. You're enjoying the feelings, the crisp leaves that have been on the ground since autumn are perhaps rustling at your feet as the sunlight dapples through those trees. Not yet fully powerful, but powerful enough that it awakens something in you. And now you are approaching your clearing. And as you come to your clearing, you're going to find that there is a seat where you're able to meet with your special goddess, or the female that is representative of earliest spring for you. You're going to meet with her and sit with her. But if you don't want to sit, you might like to take her hands in yours and to get up and dance and to dance those steps that feel right for you. And I'm going to leave you for a few moments to receive the nourishment, to receive the inspiration, to receive the ideas from your spring goddess that you can bring back to everyday waking reality. Your goddess may show you something, may inspire you to think or feel something, or to bring to mind a piece of poetry. The Goddess Brigade is associated with poetry, as well as with water, as well as the transformative power of fire. And traditionally, bonfires have been lit to celebrate Imbolc, and many people in many parts of the world still honour this tradition. The bringing forwards of the alchemical fire and the alchemical forces to take forwards into the growth of the still fairly new year. Think about it. 11 out of 12 months are yet to be lived. Isn't that a gift? Isn't that a wonderful gift? One that we can embrace with open hearts and open minds. And talking of gifts, I would like you to thank your goddess, your spring goddess. And maybe you would like to exchange gifts. Perhaps she has something special to give to you. Maybe something from nature. Or maybe simply the warmth of her essence, or an embrace. And in thankfulness, you have something to give to her. But you thank her, and you are ready to leave this place where you met your goddess, your own special enclave in the forest. And you walk through the forest, back along the pathway from whence you came. And you walk with lighter step. You walk with brighter mind, knowing that your inner being has, just like the earth, been nourished by the increasing power of the light, and also the forces of growth that are gaining force, gaining momentum. And maybe in your everyday world, your thoughts might turn to that which you can create using the element of fire, of transformation, which exists in each and every one of us in the form of creative impulses and other ways too. And also what you will leave behind. But above all, you're feeling enriched. You're feeling blessed. And then it is time to start to become more aware of your body where it is resting, where you are sitting or laying. You might want to wriggle your fingers or toes. You might be conscious of the angles of your elbows or ankles as you get ready to open your eyes, just to allow those eyelids to open. And I'm going to count up to 10. But by the time I get to 10, you will be feeling relaxed and alert and ready to get on with your day, if that is your intention. Or ready to go to sleep, if you are doing this before bedtime and it is your time to sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If your eyes are not already open, they will pop open now. 10. I wish you very happy Imbolc celebrations. Thank you for joining me.